Welcome to Bible in the Backyard. Here we are in Zvarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 3. And in this chapter we have kind of an account of the battles against the nations Sihon and Og. And the way the battles are described are kind of like very schematic. There are brief schematic accounts. There's not a lot of detail in the narrative about the battles. Like we'll see later in the book of Joshua, some of the epic battles are described in great detail. And what we have here is it comes to see a certain theme of totality, of obedience. The word kol, all or every, appears 14 times in 14 verses, which kind of sends us in this mode of thinking. There's an obedience here that stands in contrast to perhaps the previous generation's disobedience. Right, the battles here are God tells them, be obedient. Listen, I'll save you, go out to war, and in fact, that's what happens. So what do you have to say about that, perhaps in contrast to what we saw before and what we'll see later on?
Interesting. I think in context, the only thing that jumps out at me is that Moshe is trying to emphasize to the people as much as possible that things are moving along, right? At this point, this is just, we're here, we're going to march in, God's on your side, conquer Sihon, conquer Og, no problem. He even emphasizes the one detail we do have is not a military detail, but that Og's bed is still there, right? It's still sitting there in what's now Amman, Ramat Bnei Ammon. It's huge. It's X number of cubits long, and it's iron. So he seems to be emphasizing that whether or not this was accurate militarily is hard to say, but the rhetoric is, this was not a complicated issue. They're great kings, but no problem, because this is what you have, this is the life you now lead. God's on your side. He tells you to fight the Amorites. Fight the Amorites. Don't worry about the giant who's leading them. No problem. You'll vanquish them without any casualties, without any problems. And we're going to march on. And of course, he wants to get to the point where you're about to enter the land. Let me just tell you what you need to do when you get there.
And so their mindset from these battles is, what frame of mind are they in now that, Moshe is about to start his next speech, which is filled with laws?
Yeah, I don't know what their mindset is, but at least what he wants their mindset to be is that, in fact, God's on their side, and presumably the laws and the covenantal aspects of the laws, that if we continue to be obedient, this is the kind of life we'll live. We can walk up to the greatest kingdoms and just vanquish them without any problems whatsoever.
Great. So obedience as a theme is what we take away from this chapter.
Seems good. Thank you.
Thanks.